Hi, and welcome to another episode of I think I've lost my goddamn mind again.
In
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 5D.
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 I hear it's worse the second time.
Second.
Worse
Oh
or
boy.
better?
Right. No, and so what I'm referring to exactly is I have now started to, I wouldn't say enjoy, but I've started to go outside and not completely hate it. Like
Ew.
I'm leaving my house at least twice a day now because I need to get my movement in, and I don't completely hate it because I've gamified it. My watch, like I win achievements and badges. So literally now it's that old meme of achievement unlocked, went outside.
Did you ever try that fitness RPG I told you about?
I started to, but there wasn't enough for me to do in it.
There becomes more. You just got
Oh,
to get
okay.
through a couple of things. But yeah, me and my wife started. I hate to say it, we started doing the fitness RPG because we have so much more time to like walk our dog that we're taking longer walks with the dog.
I'm
And
sure
we're
the
doing like
dog is
3 times a day
enjoying
instead
it.
of two. Yes and no. Actually, I think it's honestly too much for our fucking boxer pit. She's like,
I
guys, come on, this is ridiculous.
don't
What do you
need to
you've
go
both
for a
met her.
walk.
Yeah, you've both met her. She's not exactly like a super high energy dog, so it's a little much for her.
I
Yeah.
just want to go in the backyard, guys. I don't want to. I don't want to go
We
for a
can't
walk.
try. We have. It's so stupid. So a lot of a house got 4 sides. 3 and 3/4 sides of our fence are tall enough to keep our dog in, and then there is one very tiny section where for whatever reason the fence is like 2 feet lower than the fence everywhere else, and she can jump right over it, and she does. So she does not get to go out back unsupervised.
Why don't you just go get a piece of plywood and just nail it up there?
Because I don't do
Outdoor.
half-ass shit like that. Like
Oh.
if we are going to redo the fence, but until we're ready to redo the whole fence, we're just not going to do it.
I'm just saying, until you're ready to redo the fence, you
Yeah,
could
no,
remedy that by putting just a piece of plywood up and
no,
just screwing
no,
it in.
no,
Is that
no
because that's
temporary fixes.
let me get an armchair psychiatrist here on you. Is that because that's what your father did?
No, but it is the kind of shit my stepdad does, and I think it's ghetto as fuck when he does it. And I'm sorry, but I just refuse to be that neighbor. That's what it is. It, and you know what's funny? Growing up, my dad would always pull us like, "Oh, you can't dye your hair weird colors. You can't wear clothes with holes in them because what will people think about me?" And honestly, I still stand by this. If I ever had a kid, fuck it, let that little weirdo wear whatever the hell he wants, because you know what people think when they see a kid who dresses weird is, "That's a weird kid." That's it. That's as far as fucking people go. But when your fucking house is like janky and looks like a third world country, people drive by that shit and they go, that motherfucker's dragging down property values. I'm not going to be that motherfucker who costs people money.
I wish I could throw things at those people that just drive through my neighborhood for fun. Like,
I live
hey,
in a cul-de-sac,
fuck
and every
out.
once in a while I see people like go on a jog through my cul-de-sac, and I'm like, fuck you. You find a different cul-de-sac. Get out of my cul-de-sac.
I like that as we've gotten older, we haven't gone any classier. Like, I remember when we used to all hang out in that really shit apartment, right?
Oh, that apartment.
And,
That
and
apartment is going to become legend, man.
it's already a fucking legend, but we used to hang out at that apartment. And then, you know, now here we are in our own homes and that kind of thing. For some of us, or just even when I lived in an apartment that was nicer, I was always like, still had that like ghetto mentality in my brain, like, get away from me, this is my shit. Arr.
So,
Neighbor.
to be fair, one of my life goals has always been to be the old man on the lawn with his like hose at the ready. Anytime fucking neighborhood kids get too close to my property, I spray them with the hose. That here, so legit story. One of my like, I don't want to say role models because if I'm being honest, I was not that close to them, and I didn't really like him as a person. But one of the staple figures in my childhood, it's obviously my grandpa. For as long as I have memory of my grandpa, here's my grandpa's day. Wake up, eat one fried egg and one piece of dry wheat toast. then proceed to drink a 24-pack of Budweiser on the front porch while staring at anybody who drives by his house, then drive his happy ass over to the Legion and have some drinks there before coming home and going to bed. No other meals, no bullshit. The only time he would have like lunch and dinner was holidays where my grandma would yell at him until he did it, or if one of my uncles, this motherfucker has 4 kids, but only one of my uncles would drive him to a nicer restaurant, he would have a steak. That's it. And that's how this motherfucker lived at least like 15 years of his life. Was just fried egg, toast, beer, hate. And I gotta say, as much as I didn't like him as a person, his life goals were pretty on point.
There were at least he was consistent.
I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like, that's a dude who woke up every morning, he's like, you know what I want to do?
Excuse me.
I want to
Sorry.
do what I did yesterday. And I swear to fuck, if one person interrupts the bullshit that I do, I'm going to cut him. And I can respect somebody who just understands what he wants out of life. And that's what that guy wanted. He wanted a 24-pack of Budweiser and no one to say a single word to
To be
him.
fair, though, do you think that he ended up there, or you think earlier on in life he was like, you know what I want to do when I'm old?
He's Catholic. He had 5 kids. God damn it. Catholic, 5 kids, 4 of them boys, all of them troublemakers. All of them. Dude, let me tell you, my dad was strict on me because my uncles were fucked up, including my dad. Like, my dad and my uncles were all super fucked up. But he just assumed that me and my brother were going to do horrible fucked up shit like we did, and we, like, never did. But we were,
Okay.
like, under this strict not until we moved out, motherfucker. I lived at his house. Like, the worst thing I did was smoke weed. But I'll tell you, I only ever smoked weed in his house like twice. Any other time, I was like, I really need to not do that. And actually, I will say, I'm gonna throw her under the bus because I don't give a fuck. The only times I ever smoked weed inside of my dad's house, my sister put me up to it. The fucking, and Eduardo knows. You can see the look on his face right now, Klops, because he knows my fucking upbringing. My sister, the fucking golden child, could literally, like, punch a hole through somebody's chest, and my dad would find a way why it was completely fine for her to do it.
And
Only times I smoked weed in his house were because I had weed and my sister didn't, and so we smoked in the bathroom and blew it out the fucking door because me and my sister controlled the top floor. Nobody else came out. Like, literally, the only 2 things upstairs were my room and my sister's room. I don't know how it ended up that way, but it fucking did. So, but any other time I went out and smoked weed, I left his house. I went to somebody else's house. I went to a park. I went to somewhere. I did not fuck around at my dad's house. In fact, even after I smoked weed, a buddy of mine came over and tried to smoke weed in my dad's kitchen. I was like, you need to leave. Like, we're not fucking doing this. You're not putting me in this situation. The fuck up out of my house right now. No.
That's funny. Was he super offended?
No, because I told him. I was straight up. I was like, dude, if you smell weed, motherfucking dude came in here, lit up a bowl, and I kicked his bitch ass out, not playing this game. And he was like, I'm proud of you. Then years later, he found I smoked weed. He's like, you kicked that friend out. And I was like, yeah, because I'm not trying to get in trouble for some dumb motherfucker trying to fuck around. That's not how this shit works. My sister, like, threw parties, stole his liquor, all kinds of shit. Dude, I never threw a party. The one time I got drunk at my dad's house in my dad's hot tub, my best friend pissed in his backyard, and I'm guessing my dad had cameras set up because he's like, why the fuck Sean peeing in my backyard? I'm like, okay, well, clearly you're fucking watching this place. But it was after I graduated, I didn't live there, and we did not get drunk on his booze. We brought our own booze and just drank in his hot tub, and Sean didn't want to walk inside soaking wet and pissed in his backyard. I'm like, dude, I did not fuck around at my dad's house. I was at, like, he's told me stories about lighting off fireworks inside of the house, throwing toga parties. Like, bro, shit, I would never have even been like, I could get away with this. No, never did that shit. Not once. Do you guys ever, like, legit, like, be fucking honest here. Do you ever throw something that you were like, I will get fucked if I get caught for this? Ever? Anything?
No.
I come from a very religious family. That was
Fucking
most things
everything
that
I
were
did.
fun. I had to live
I
a
also
secret
come from a
life.
religious family, and like by the time I was doing parties and stuff, I was living at my drug dealer's house. So I mean, it was just
I
kind of
will
the thing
say,
to do anyway.
Eduardo, Klops was the more religious family. For
Well,
sure.
I feel like there's a difference between religion and a cult. And,
Not for
the
Christianity.
way that he describes it, there's flavors of, but the way that he describes it, it was a lot more cultish than, religion.
I mean, from the outside looking in, y'all motherfuckers look like cults. Y'all got special hats? Welcome to the cult, motherfucker. I don't give a
Wait,
fuck.
who has I think that's just the Catholics, homie.
No, bullshit. Anybody who wears a turban, that's a special hat. Yarmulkes, special fucking
I
hat.
thought you were still
Mormons,
talking about
special
I thought you
fucking
were still talking about
underwear.
Christianity.
You got even Catholics. You got special clothes you gotta wear sometimes. The minute you start going, we got magic clothes we have to wear. I'm sorry, it's a cult in my book.
Yeah. Anyways,
The minute you got magic clothes, just to me, it's a little culty.
So, well, speaking of cults, I didn't see it, but Clubs, I feel like you checked out Midsummer.
Yeah, I just watched Midsummer. Like,
wait,
the other
it's
day.
about a cult. Clubs, tell me all about it. I love cults.
So it's a commune that lives out in Sweden, and basically it's just a movie about these modern Swedish people that are kind of like the Amish that practice old Norse traditions and rituals.
Amish, Vikings in Sweden.
Yeah.
So far, you've not said a single word I'm super into right now.
They're a cult.
Still into it.
You're only
Have you
making it
met
better.
him?
Keep going.
Okay. So the story revolves around this couple. I forget her name, but her sister, who is bipolar, ends up going off the deep end and committing suicide and also killing her parents or their parents by running hoses from the cars up to their room and like tapes it under the door and stuff
Like
for them.
carbon
And then she
monoxide
tapes it
poisoning.
directly to her mouth. I don't know why she taped it directly to her mouth. So basically, yeah, give carbon monoxide poisoning for all of them, right? I don't know where the sister was that she couldn't go check on her family when she wasn't responding and like sent this weird ass text and stuff. So she's pretty decimated from that. At the same time, her boyfriend of I think it's 4 years, basically is in this point where he's thinking about breaking up with her and then doesn't because of all this, and so he's trying to make the relationship work. And for his thesis, because I don't know what he's doing in school, but he's doing some kind of thesis or something, that he's going to go to Sweden to check out this commune that their buddy from Sweden had invited them to. It was him and two other people with him. So it was like 4 friends were going to go out to the mountains or whatever to this Swedish commune.
Is this a show or a movie?
It's a movie.
Okay.
The movie that's it's by Studio A24 or
Oh,
4
okay. Yeah.
That did Hereditary and stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I like Hereditary better.
Okay.
Just because Hereditary was this weird movie that made you forget about that it was going to be a horror movie in any sense, and it was just about family drama, and then became a horror movie. And Midsummer is just a horror movie because they are practicing old, archaic Norse
rituals.
Right. And so like that's where it really just is kind of like horror out of place. It does do a good job of showing indoctrination though, which is what I really actually enjoyed about it. It was kind of fun to watch.
Yeah,
right?
that mind manipulation is really the most fascinating part about cults. How they break somebody down and play into what they need, and yeah.
And so basically through the beginning part of the movie, she learns that he's going to go out to this thing, and then he invites her because they got into a fight. So now she's along for the ride to go to this place in Sweden as well, right? And everything seems fine at first, right? You know what I mean? Like they're taking basically mushrooms to trip out because it's part of the whole Norse ritual thing is they ate a bunch of shrooms a lot. And everybody's happy and it's always sunny, right? You know, like there's no, like they're further up north, so it gets darker for a short period of time for a lot of times. And it's just this movie about basically 5 Americans that get swept into this really dark story and get fucked over for it, and one of them becomes converted.
All right.
I liked all the prosthetics. I liked all the like gore that was in it because they didn't hold back, right? You know, they had one where the old people jump off the cliff. It's a Norse ritual. People basically, back in the day when the villages couldn't sustain themselves, the old would give their lives in order for the village to continue on, and they would jump off of a cliff.
It's like Eskimos taking their old and putting them on an iceberg and kicking that shit out to sea.
Pretty much. And they show it.
Fucked up way to die.
They had 2 people do it, right? You know, like one went head first, the other one tried to go head first but fucked up and just broke his fucking leg. And when he's screaming in pain, the whole village starts screaming in pain to share in his pain, is what it is. And then they have this giant wood mallet, and they come up and they just smash his fucking head, right? And you get to see all of it, and it's kind of interesting to watch, right? You know, that's the best way I could describe this movie. It was interesting to watch the ritualistics that they were doing that were old and archaic that we no longer really do, right? Or that we don't do.
All right.
You get to see a blood eagle at one point, which is really fun.
Of course, that's become so popular.
Yeah.
Right. But you don't get to see the actual blood eagle being done. You just see the leftover of it.
All right.
And it actually looks really rad because they have them all like spewed up in like the ceiling. And he's got like wrists that are wrapped with like flowers and shit. And then like his lungs are just sitting on top and he looks like a fucking eagle. It's pretty rad.
All right.
I recommend it. It's a good watch. It's fun. It's fun to watch the indoctrination.
What'd you watch it on?
I watched it on it was on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And it's free on there if you have Amazon Prime. Or you can rent it, I think, for like $4 or something like that if you want to rent it. I'd probably give this one around a 3.5 or 4 Midsummers out of 5.
Okay.
It was pretty
Not
decent.
bad.
It was a very atmospheric movie, which is what I think Studio A24 is doing really well. I feel that they've fallen into this niche of like really building atmosphere, and I like that. But I still think Hereditary is the stronger of the 2 movies of their horror movies of late.
And I still haven't seen that one, and I've heard nothing but good things. I am kind of getting into a little bit more of a horror movie kick lately, so
I think Hereditary is also on Prime.
good to know.
Yeah,
So
it's also on Prime.
it's kind of related, but did you guys get a chance to see the Assassin's Creed Valhalla teaser?
I did.
No.
I know.
Oh,
you,
hold on.
I
Let me
know you don't
rephrase.
care.
I had the chance to see it. I
You just
didn't.
didn't.
What about you, Klops? Did you see it? Did you enjoy it? How do you
I
feel
watched
about
it.
Valhalla?
It's Vikings, so I'll probably have to get it.
Of course. Oh, hold
yeah.
on. Let me pretend to be surprised. Ah,
yeah.
Did I sell that?
Honestly, like, I want to see more of gameplay and stuff and see what they do.
It
because
can't
it's
be
just-
worse
it
than
was-
For Honor.
Well, I will say, and yes, I realize I have not played an Assassin's Creed game for several generations now. But where the first Assassin's Creed game was run up a wall and stab a guy so that you can run up a wall and stab a guy and then finally run up a wall and stab a guy, I'm really hoping this one is going to be run across a field and axe a guy so that you can run across a field and axe a guy and then run across a field and axe a guy.
They've changed a lot. The last one I played was Black Flag. and
Oh,
I
that was
highly
yeah,
one of the
recommend-
best.
This is what everybody brings up for me, though. Is like, they added boats, and I'm like, cool, so I can pilot my boat and cannon a guy so I can run up a wall and stab a guy and get in my boat
They
and
added
cannon
more
a
of
guy?
those boats. You could go whaling.
You could go whaling. The fun thing about Black Flag though was that it still had that like, you know, Assassin's Creed field of like going around to these different towns and assassinating different officers and stuff like that. But then you also got a pirate ship. And yar me, matey, I'm gonna go out here and I'm going to fucking shoot people. And the best part about that was that you can actually have your sailors sing sailor shanties as you're fucking going
Yeah.
around in the water.
And part of the
Look,
collective
are you trying to not sell this right now? Because that's what you're doing.
Was that you collected other shanties for your sailors to sing?
For more
Get the
shanties.
fuck
It was
out.
great. It was
Yeah.
It's really immersive actually. And like honestly, I think Black Flag is the best one so far that I've ever played.
You're literally
Um,
trying to sell me like they did this in comic books too. They were like, no, Spider-Man's great because Iron Man bought him a suit. No, it's great because he's red. No, it's great because he has cameras on legs on his back. It didn't work then and it doesn't work now.
I'm just saying that if you find it on sale for $2 or $4 or $5, wouldn't go over $5, you should pick it up and play it.
I feel like there's very few games that you shouldn't pick up and play for $2. Few. Not
Yeah,
none.
Yeah,
not
No,
none.
that's fair.
Not
That's
none.
not true. I've gone through the Switch marketplace.
I'm
So
not
many.
saying none. I'm just saying few.
I'm just saying that if you find this one on a good sale, you should buy it and then you should talk about it. Because I feel that you might actually like it more than what you're putting on.
He also doesn't like games where you have to drive stuff, so I just think
hate
he's
piloting.
out.
He's
Anything.
not driving. He's not driving. He's not piloting. He's sailing.
Yeah, that's like.
Do I get
it's
to
completely
hoist
different.
the mizzen
No,
mast?
get the fuck out. That's like the people who are like, when they get pulled over by the cops, they're like, I am not driving, I am traveling.
Oh
Fuck
my
you.
god, that's a real thing. Klops, that's a
Yeah,
real
the sovereign
thing.
citizen stuff. Yeah, same concept.
I've
Well,
gotten weirdly
You know that
addicted.
technically we don't actually need licenses. They're Class C licenses. Which
Oh
are
my
commerce
God.
Licenses, right?
Oh my god, it's happening.
know that,
Everyone's
right?
getting
The
dumber.
fucking worst. No, that's
Fuck.
You know that we don't
happening.
actually need insurance or anything because that was supposed to be provided by a like place that you were working for.
No,
yeah.
for
That's
the
not
insurance
true.
stuff?
It's not,
it's not
it
how
works
anything
anymore.
works.
Nope.
In the
you're-
Second Amendment, it was also
Not-
upgraded.
Oh, shut the fuck up! Unless you
Not
can
how
actually
anything
say
Owned
them
and
all,
operated vehicle.
No.
None of
Under
this
the
is
sec-
accurate
under the-
information.
it's all just
There are
wrong.
so many.
I know what you're talking about.
There's
I've
so
heard
many
about it.
fundamental
So
inaccuracies.
You
dumb.
forget that I go around to different fucking groups on Facebook and troll them.
Oh my
The
god.
current one being that
To,
the
to be fair though,
COVID-19
now
is
now
is
I'm just
by
gonna blame
5G.
you.
Or 5G.
Anytime any group does anything stupid on the internet, I'm gonna blame you now. So
hold
you're behind the protest too about quarantine, right?
The worst thing, Klops, I got weirdly addicted to live PD on YouTube. Not even the show.
Same.
Just live PD clips on YouTube. And suddenly I started seeing at least 3 videos where somebody's like, I wasn't driving, I was traveling. And I'm like, this
What?
is a weirdly specific, stupid argument for this guy to just be on crack. What is happening? I ping Eduardo about it and he's like, this is a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean this is a thing? So he starts linking me videos. And I had to unfortunately learn at 30 years old that there are people in this world who fully believe that some sort of justification of, I wasn't driving, I was traveling, is going to make the cop go, oh, fuck, bro. I didn't
just-
see that coming.
Should just put a sign up, man.
I got nothing now. Like, there are people who really think that they just dropped the fucking get out of jail free card. Like, oh, guess who's gonna go home tonight, motherfucker? Nope. That's not how anything works. Nothing. That's not how anything works. It's insane.
Yeah, there's just some crazy
You know,
people
hold
out
on.
there.
Just for anybody who's listening, Eduardo, what are these people called?
They call themselves sovereign citizens, and yeah, and they basically
The one Eduardo linked me, this guy is trying to like he's trying to trip up the judge, man.
yeah,
And this is totally like the same guy who's been growing pot in his barn since the late 70s. And now he's like, small government's the only way to run the world. And so he's like, Your Honor, I'm not, we're just going to call him John Smith. His name is fucking not John Smith, but also his name is John Smith for the sake of it. You'll get what I mean. They keep going like, John Smith, you're convicted of this. And he goes, Your Honor, I'm not John Smith. John Smith is a person. I am just the entity who represents John Smith. John Smith is a
I am
person.
the individual.
Right. I am the individual. John Smith is a this. And so literally the judge catches on really quick and he goes, okay, so in the case of John Smith the person, John Smith the individual, John Smith the entity, John Smith the corporate, like he's just naming all the things that John Smith can possibly be. And the judge ends up saying it easily 15 times in the course of like a 5-minute video because he's got to get through every time he's going to refer to schmucky fucking Magoo. He's got to say John Smith the entity, John Smith the individual, John Smith the corporation, John Smith the cat, John Smith the fucking baldy. Doesn't fucking matter. the asshole I'm talking to right now. I feel like can we all just start one of those petitions? You always see there's like a petition like refilm Star Wars 8.
Change.org petition right here.
Right. Can we get a change.org petition to just be like, a judge should be able, in a very specific case, to go, John Smith, the fuckhole standing in front of me. That's an exact line a judge should get to use is, the fuckface piece of shit who's standing right there. That guy. And then point at him with his finger and go, that motherfucker, that guy's fucking charged of this. I'm not saying guilty. I'm not saying innocent. I'm just saying that what's happening is against that guy. That guy right there.
And then there was one, it was a different case and a different guy where he was claiming the same thing, that he was not the, that was an incorporated name. That wasn't his name. He was just a representative. So the judge, after arguing with him for at least 5 minutes, he goes, okay, well then I'm just going to issue a citation for failure to appear in court to the person.
That's funny.
And the guy started changing his tone because he started just stacking on charges. The dude didn't show up. Here you go, wasted the court's time, contempt, and all kinds of craziness. It was great.
Who is the methadone clinic lawyer who was like, I found a loophole, y'all. All we got to do is say that we're just not this person, but we're just an entity.
It goes even deeper than you think. There's a dude who started a business that used to give out certificates saying that people were sovereign citizens, and it would have in the certificate different amendments and different parts of the Constitution that they were citing. Why? And yeah, just hand this to a police officer, and you don't have to have a license, you don't have to have insurance or license.
Do they
plates.
put out a thing where they're like, here's the book, and I'll highlight the points of this book that say this is a fact? This is what, like literally, the minute one of them can provide me a piece of legal documentation that goes like, no, seriously, I found a loophole, I will champion their shit.
The problem is that they cite, it is kind of like religion. They cite a text and then just interpret it in their own way.
Oh, these are those guys who are like, well, the right is to bear arms, and clearly that means you have the right to hang a pair of bear's arms in your home.
Yeah, exactly. So that kind of deal.
Well, even if it's not state in the federal, there's still state laws.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So they try to get away with stuff, and they're the same people that are always claiming to be oppressed because, the government, whatever. Yeah.
They're not wrong. Don't you know that every conspiracy you ever heard is true?
In an infinite universe with infinite possibilities, yes, every single conspiracy theory out there is true. But you tell me what you meant.
I mean, all of them. Like, vaccinations are poison. The COVID-19 is a thing because of 5G. The government is run by lizard people that are in the hollow earth. It's under the flat earth, by the way. We never landed on the moon.
Yeah, that's true. Don't forget about the ice wall.
Or Pizzagate. Can't forget about Pizzagate, dude.
Jesus. I feel like anytime we say Pizzagate, we're not monetized here on YouTube, but every time we say that, YouTube gets further away from monetizing us.
I feel like they should be closer. They should be closer to monetizing us.
No, dude, they just kicked out David Icke. Did you hear about that?
No, what?
Do you know who David Icke is?
No.
Oh, David Icke is amazing. He is one of those guys who believes that all of our leaders are reptilian beings. And he also believes that there's a set of tunnels underneath LA where all the lizard people live, and they secretly run Hollywood in the world. He is batshit crazy. He also talks about how we're living in a matrix, and he's just batshit crazy. So he just got kicked off of YouTube because he was claiming that COVID was caused by 5G. So YouTube kicked him out. Yeah, David Icke is hilarious, and for some reason he wears a lot of purple. I don't know why. Homie's batshit crazy.
Is there like a relation between the purple and his crazy? Purple's color royalty, bro.
Maybe.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I want to see him and Vermin Supreme have a debate.
Who's Vermin Supreme?
You've never heard of
Vermin Supreme? On his head.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
He runs for president every 4 years.
Yeah. So the other thing is that he was one of the ones that was talking about building a bridge from San Francisco to Oakland, and that was the one idea that like everybody really liked, and they started to do. That's why they put up a bridge instead of just the Golden Gate.
That's funny.
But like he has like really crazy like outlandish things like everyone in America is gonna get a pony when he's elected. Like
Oh.
really really crazy fucking things.
How many votes does he get?
More than 0.
Well, I was
I
about
don't
to
know.
say he can vote for himself, but like, how many people actually follow him? I wonder.
I don't know. With our system, I might just vote for him this year or whatever the next election is.
Hey, I fully back voting for whoever you believe will do the best for the country.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just want to see how crazy it can get.
You're like, I've been stockpiling weapons. I'm ready.
I wish.
Klopp's just been stockpiling dick.
Yeah, I got a surplus of that. Sure.
Plenty to go around, y'all. And I like how we just devolved in 10 seconds. We just evolved. Tell us about something fun, Bonsai.
I need so much more of a cue just because you put up a graphic, but I don't get to see the graphic until it comes through.
I didn't.
On a delay.
I hadn't put one up. I was gonna wait till you said something.
Oh, let's do Uploaded was fun. New Amazon Prime show, Uploaded, starring a guy who I'm sure has been in several other things, but I can't place his face. And then a bunch of people who I've never seen in anything else. About kind of a fun concept, and this kind of like most shows we watch, me and my wife always have to talk about sort of the philosophical implications of the scenario we're seeing.
Yeah.
So Uploaded.
It's
The
just
first
called
episode,
Upload.
Upload, not Uploaded. Sorry, I'm gonna keep. I'm probably going to keep doing that. So let's set the record straight. It is called
Upload.
officially.
Yeah.
So anything I say past here based on the name is probably not the name. So, dude is dating super rich chick, and you find out that for a fee, you get so much storage space, so much privileges, so much bankroll to load yourself into different afterlives, but it's optional. Some motherfuckers choose to have a natural death, while some folks prefer to be uploaded. So some folks want to stay dead forever, not be uploaded. Some folks want their consciousness uploaded to various cloud servers. Different cloud servers have different amenities, different rights, different food packages, different whatever, right? So this guy gets uploaded to what's supposed to be one of the best because his girlfriend is like an heiress kind of thing, like a Paris Hilton kind of figure, right? And slowly you learn that like even the high tier paradise is not 100% of what it's cracked up to be. But really the debate that started between me and my wife is, do you upload? Right? But what was interesting is the debate kept changing as the show kept going. So what I really wanted to compare this show to when it first came out was, did you guys ever see Downsizing with Matt Damon?
Yes, I did.
No.
Klops, you did not? Okay.
What kind
So-
of fuck you give me?
Right. Yes. Downsizing was really fun, but Klopp. So what it was, Matt Damon is in this world where they can literally take a person and shrink them down to where they're like 1/4 the size or smaller. You're like the
Yeah.
size of a fucking GI Joe, not the big
okay.
doll GI Joe, but the cool GI Joes that were tiny and hard and plastic. And the whole thing is supposed to be like, you eat less food, you use less resources, it's better for the environment. Things are cheaper because you don't got to build a big house, you got to build a doll house. That's downsizing, right? You could take, if you got $100,000 in the bank, you and your children could live the rest of your lives if you all downsize. That was the thing. And downsizing was good, but I do feel like there was a lot more to downsizing than what the movie presented. And of course, you've only
Yeah.
got a couple of hours to tell the story
And
of
it
the movie.
was a pretty long movie.
It was, but you've only got a few hours to really go into it, and you still got to tell your character's story, not the world's story,
Yeah.
right? Upload is nice because Upload is a show and it takes more time. I'm only 2 episodes in, and I think me and my wife have both changed our positions on Upload at least 4 times each.
On whether it's good or not, on whether
On
you
whether
would,
we would do it or not. Because as this exact scenario starts to come out, we both find that there are stipulations as to whether or not we upload. So when it first started, we were both kind of like, well, yeah, I mean, fuck it, upload. But immediately she had the stipulation of, well, as long as I get to control my upload. I don't want somebody editing my data. I don't want somebody adjusting anything. I don't want somebody to have control over what my data can do, what my data can think, what my data can say. And this very quickly becomes apparent in this world, as when they are building his avatar, which is basically built out of several snapshots of your face to composite your head, she gives him a cowlick that he did not have before that cannot be corrected. The algorithm doesn't support it. No gel, no haircut, no anything will get rid of the cowlick. And it slowly just starts to drive the dude into fits. So they rectify it. And then throughout the show, they've kind of revealed that they can erase memories, add memories, change things. This place is very... what do you want to call it? Premium based. So the place he was uploaded. Oh, here's the regular breakfast spread. Oh, but do you want the premium breakfast spread? That's $2.99 per item. Oh, there's regular gum, but do you want Orbitz brand gum with these extra flavors and extra this? That's an extra charge. So it becomes less of a question of, are you for uploading and where do you upload? What does the contract look like? And what I really liked is they ended up pressuring the main character into uploading. He's literally, after a car accident, is being wheeled through the hospital, and he has to make the choice of emergency surgery or upload. Do you want to roll the dice and see if you can fix your regular body, or do you just want to upload now? And if you don't sign, you got to go for the surgery. And if you die, you die. The end. Nobody cares. So they really put you in, and like, it's a big, thick contract. You got to sign your name in multiple places. You don't have time to read it. And they even make the joke. He's like, oh, I don't have time to like really read this thing. And they go, come on, you've signed up for an app before. Pages and pages of documentation that you're not taking into consideration. I don't know. I think I like where it's going, and I'm really curious to see, because now me, who is very firmly like, die or live forever, fuck it, live forever. How bad could it be? And the more I'm watching this, I'm like, well, fuck, if we're gonna like, if who's a good example? Oh my god, if EA is offering the Afterlife server, guess who's not signing up for living? I'd rather be dead.
I know,
would
but that's where I was
be
going to go. It's like,
dead.
would you rather be dead or live in an EA server? And you just answered that question for me.
Yeah, no, rather seriously, literally be fucking dead than live on an EA server. And that's kind of like what it's becoming, or what they're presenting the show as.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, if their items are premium, is there a way to make premium in-game currency?
There does not seem to be so far. Like, they've never offered someone to get a job to pay stuff off, though there might be. What the main character is on is he's actually tied to his girlfriend's account, who's alive and in her mid-20s, maybe late 20s, is like, oh, I might die in 50 years and then I'll be in there with you. Until then, everything you want gives me an alert and I can approve or deny the expenditure.
That's weird. I hope that she loves her.
So they also introduced a character called the Angels. So basically, everybody gets their own caseworkers throughout the time of day, people to help you acclimate or give you information, guide you. And it's a real person in the living world on a VR headset and mic. And they can port in, or they can just be a voice in your ear, but they're there to guide you. Well, what they reveal is that the primary angel working with our main character has a father who is terminally ill, but her mother died and was not uploaded. And now she's having to try and convince her father to upload, even though he would rather be dead with his wife. So you're kind of getting this great, like, here's a guy going through it, here's somebody who's optimistic about it, and here's somebody who's pessimistic about it. And I just like that we're exploring all of the bad scenarios. So in the chat, he says, "How bad can it be?" Obviously, you never read the short story. I have no mouth and I must scream. I have not read it, but I am very familiar with I have no mouth and I must scream. And yeah, that's what it's slowly becoming. Is somebody can really just sort of edit you, who you are. I am perfectly fine for a digital world where my consciousness is haphazardly slapped into that sumbitch, and whatever anybody wants to do, anybody can do. Fuck it. I'm cool. I'll get jiggy with the chaos, bro. We'll ride it the fuck out. But the minute somebody has proprietary control, the minute I'll be topical right now. Are you guys ready for this? I don't know if you heard this, but as today is May the 4th, did you guys hear that Disney has put out a disclaimer?
I sent that to you, yeah.
Yes. If you use the hashtag May the 4th be with you, or is it just May the 4th? Whatever it is, there is a Disney official hashtag, and anything you tag with that hashtag is the property of the Disney Corporation. They can use it as much or as little as they want. They own anything with the hashtag. I believe it's hashtag May the 4th. THE.
Yeah, good luck with that shit. Good luck trying to enforce that shit.
But still, think about in your afterlife, some company is like, yeah, we own you now. We can do whatever the fuck we want with your data. I am much more hesitant to be that here's gross. I feel gross about this. But in the world of companies and corporations as they are right now, I'm on the 4chan Afterlife server. I'm not on the EA, the ExxonMobil, the Monsanto. I'm not on the Viacom. These are all servers that once I find out some motherfucker owns, I'm like, nope, not that one. I'm not joining that goddamn server. That server sucks. I'm on the Reddit server. I'm on the fucking homebrew bullshit. Fucking Eduardo spent too much money to keep it running server. I'm fucking not on the EA server. I'm not on the Blizzard server. That's some rough shit. That's some rough ass shit.
Yeah.
Like the more I watch the movie, I'm like, oh, how dare you bastardize something I really would have been into.
Well, yeah, because it's humans. They're just gonna shit on everything.
They're gonna capitalize on it. Weirdly, here's where I drew the line for me. I'm all for a bigger prepaid package. You pump in X amount, it gets you all this shit. Literally, the part that killed my soul, and I realized what a piece of shit was once I realized this killed my soul. But he goes to the mini bar in his room and he's just looking for snacks. And it was like, here's your free snacks. And he scrolls one page over and it's like $1.99, $2.99, $3.99 for brand name like Doritos, Nesquik, Gordettos, whatever. And I was like, you motherfuckers will give me generic brand ass cheese puffs that I guarantee, since you control the code, will never hit the spot, so to speak, in my brain code. But once I pay $1.99 for those fucking Doritos, you're gonna trigger the part of my brain that makes me fucking cum or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Klops, here's the thing. I'm gonna pitch this to Klops specifically. Klops, you're gonna get on this server and your body will be physically bound to one partner at a time because the server has some sort of stipulation about coupling rights.
Yeah, no, why would I be there?
Right. Like, but this is the kind of shit. And I was like, why would you take this great thing and even present the idea of bastardizing it? The worst.
Sorry, I was still going about the May the 4th post thing. I'm now posting pictures of a man with the May the 4th hashtag.
Jesus Christ.
Does he have it on his penis? Because I feel like that's right up your alley.
No, I'm just literally posting pictures of old men with that hashtag so that Disney can have them for use.
Klops is just posting lemon part. Klops, if you just have a Twitter, can you do me a favor? Just apropos to nothing. No description, no anything. Can you just post lemon party pictures with just at Disney official or whatever their official Twitter is? Just again, apropos to nothing. Can we just send man beans to Twitter?
I feel like we can't condone anybody going to Twitter, but if you want to, you should.
And
You just
again,
want
I
lemon
don't want
party
there to be a
pictures?
reason. This isn't a movement. This isn't a political statement. This is purely because you live in a world where you can say, not Walt Disney, not Michael Eisner, not random janitor at Disney. You can say, hey, Disney, as a whole, check out this old guy's nuts. And they don't have a choice. Some asshole's going to click on that, and for at least 2 seconds is going to have to go, yep, that's an old guy's nuts. And you live in that world. You can make that happen. Klops, you can be the change that I want to see in the
It's
world.
because it's all a simulation, bro. It's all a simulation.
You're making me sadder. Upload. It's a fun show. I'm only 2 episodes in, so don't hold me to it that it's going to stay good. But for at least the first 2 episodes, entertaining as a motherfucker. Like, really like the philosophical debate that the show presents. Let me give it, what's a good one? I'm going to give it 4 strangely aggressive 11-year-olds out of 5. But asterisks. This is based off of only viewing the first 2 episodes.
Okay. And you're gonna watch more though, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So the reason you know the main character, by the way, he's been in a bunch of WB shows, but he's also in Code 8. That show on Netflix that you were gonna watch by the studio that did like Chappie and stuff, I believe.
I did watch it. It's not by Oats Studio.
It's not?
It's not.
I'm pretty sure it's by the studio that did Chappie because of
Nope,
the robots,
that's
homie.
Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah,
Oats
but
Studio.
I'm pretty sure it was that studio, District 9. Am I getting these confused?
I think you're just saying that because I'm checking it as I'm talking, but I personally feel like you're just saying that based solely off of the
I
names.
thought
the
this
director was Jeff Chan.
Yeah,
the writers
yeah.
were Chris Pear and Jeff Chan.
I thought this was a short that got turned into a show, and the short was on those little YouTube shorts by the guy who did Chappie and all the robot flicks.
No, I've been watching the Oats Studio stuff, and to my there was a short film called so you're right, it just wasn't that studio from what I'm seeing. It was based on a short from YouTube. It's 10 minutes long, but
Okay.
I'm not seeing anything that suggests that it was tied to the Oats Studio shorts.
I thought it was. I could have sworn that it ended up getting picked up.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like, it is a short. Okay, history on March 22nd. This is via Wikipedia. History
Yeah.
on March 22nd, 2016. Robbie and Stephen Amell. That's who he is. So Stephen Amell is in it, the guy who played Arrow in the terrible, terrible, terrible Arrow show.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing this guy is his brother, which also explains why he's on the DC stuff, because that's what you do for family. Robert and Stephen Amell premiered a 10-minute short film as a teaser for a full-length feature, also titled Code 8. While releasing the short, the Amells simultaneously started an Indiegogo campaign in order to fund the full-length feature, with their target being $200,000. The film was funded less than 48 hours and continues to grow, having exceeded $1,500,000 a month. Both Amells expressed that by going with the crowdfunding route, they can keep the creative control themselves. Some of the perks of donating to Code, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so this was crowdfunded, and this was privately funded. This was not part of the Oats Studios things.
I thought it was. Well, especially because of the robots. I thought I read an article.
The robots were very Chappie-like,
similar.
but no, yeah, and I've been keeping up on the Oats Studio stuff as much as I can, and I do not recall that one being
Well,
part
that
of
was
it.
also a good one.
Yeah. There's a few Oats Studios ones that deserve to be made into feature-length films, but unfortunately, the first one that was put up for crowdfunding did not make the goal.
Fair enough. I mean, I like District 9, and I wanted to see more of it, or I wanted more stories in that universe.
You know what we actually just rewatched was Elysium, which is also by Neil Blomkamp.
Was
Matt
that any
Damon?
good?
Matt Damon. But yeah, Elysium's good. I think both District 9 and Chappie are stronger, even though I know a lot of people did not like Chappie. I do like Chappie. To me, Elysium is third ranked of 3, but is still really like that's like saying that World's End is the third ranked of the 3 Cornetto movies. But all 3 Cornetto movies
Okay.
are so
I
good.
still have not seen World's End.
What?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people wanted to talk shit on World's End. World's End is fantastic. And honestly, the best thing about it is finally the roles are reversed. You know how 9 times out of 10, Simon Pegg is the problem, or is the straight man, and Nick Frost is the problem. It's full opposite in World's End, and they both pull it off. They both sell it, proving
that's good.
that they're not just one note. They're both really, really good at what they do. No, dude, you need to like. Can you please make it a point to see World's End?
I mean, eventually, sure.
No, I'm asking that you kind of go out of your way to like Amazon rent it soon. I really want to know your opinion on it, but I really do feel like it deserves to be part of the Cornetto trilogy.
I feel like I should watch
movie.
Hot Fuzz again because I just watched Shaun of the Dead recently. I introduced it to a person who has never seen it.
My wife's been talking about rewatching the whole Cornetto trilogy, so I might need to join in with you and do this.
Yeah, so I think I need to watch Hot Fuzz again.
I just actually rewatched it a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. I just rewatched Hot Fuzz. Holds up. Klops, you've seen all 3, right?
Sorry, I was just finishing my post here.
So Cornetto trilogy, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, World's End. You've seen all 3?
Yeah, I've seen all 3.
Okay. Would you agree, like, Eduardo at least needs to see World's End? It's not at all bad. It deserves to be part of the trilogy. It deserves to be seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you owe it. You owe it to yourself, and you owe it to them. It's all really good.
I will watch Hot Fuzz, and I will watch that. But like I said, I'm trying to introduce the Cornetto trilogy to someone who is completely blank. Has never seen this.
Is this the person living with you?
Yeah. This is my wife's niece.
Okay, what did she think of Shaun of the Dead?
Generally, she's not into zombies, but she didn't hate it. Which, from a teenager, I feel like that's